I'm going to be talking about how to get through trying times. Um, I've dealt with a lot of pain and grief and disappointment in my fairly short life. Um, I've had to deal with life threatening circumstances, debilitating illnesses, um, loss of jobs, tough financial situations, stuff that just makes you question everything, question yourself. Um, I've dealt with significant depression, suicidal thoughts. Um, and now that the world is going through a fairly trying time with COVID and it's affecting industries and affecting sectors, um, it's very likely that people will experience, or people either directly or people they know, or you might experience, like the loss of someone, the loss of a job, tough financial situations. How do you get through? This is not an exhaustive breakdown of everything that is possible to do, but just to give tips from our own life and from our own journey. And hopefully there may be like one or two things that you can pick out and that will be meaningful for you. I think the first thing to understand is to just embrace the fact, first of all, that one, as cliche as it sounds, no condition is permanent. And whether it's a good circumstance, there'll be rough times. But if there are rough patches, those rough patches also tend to resolve themselves. So irrespective of how you feel, your pain, your fear, your sadness will pass. And it will come to an end at some point. And to a large extent, you'll be able to control, those outcomes and control how quickly, the phase comes to an end. So no matter how bad and rough it seems, eventually things will normalize. This tough phase will come to an end. And then, just like winter comes to an end, good times will come through. The other thing to also consider is to just find what your big why is. What drives you? What's the big motivation for living? You want to be alive so that you can do what? You want to be like really clear on your why. So if you lose someone, or you lose a job, or you're in a position of loss, or what gives you meaning many times is not stuff on the outside. It's really saying, look, my highest purpose, the highest thing that gives me fulfillment in my own life, is helping others. It's feeding certain mouths. It's, living for my kids. It's just knowing what that why is. And when you clear on your why, and you're able to still, work on your why during the trying times, it sort of helps you. So for example, for someone like me who likes to mentor other people and who is very big on, extracting the meaning of life from life, and, just talking to other people about that. When I go through these tough times, a huge part of me is aware that these trying times will help to make sense for so many others. And all of a sudden, what would have crushed me in isolation, because it's within the context of a larger why, starts to make sense. From my pain and the experience I get from my pain, other people will be educated and they will be able to get through their own pain. And that just helps in some way. It doesn't take it away, but it does help. And then the last thing is, as hard as it is, you can control, to a large extent, a lot of variables and factors. So put your emotions in check, Think about what the next steps are. Try to be as objective as possible, because a lot of the past still resides in your hands, irrespective of how you may feel. So realize that your tough times will pass, find your why, and realize that a lot of power to change stuff still rests in your hands. And that's all for now. Be strong and have a good day.